my niece is getting married the end of August, and we are giving her a luncheon this Saturday. And I know Carol Hodges, who watches every week, she had asked me to share what I made for the shower. So Andrea, hang on so you can see what I made for the shower, okay? So you all have seen these before because I made these for my Stampin' Up! Open house, my new catalog open house. But I made these little treat holders, and they have lemon drops inside. And I did one in lemon and lime. And then I did this pink one. We'll call it grapefruit. But I made these little treat holders. Do you remember these, Carol? I think I showed everyone that I made these during the Stampin' Up! Open house, new catalog open house. So anyway, these are the treat holders, and guess what, girls? They're all done. Can you believe I actually got them done beforehand? I finished them Sunday night. So here they are. This is from the Sweet Citrus Bundle. All right, Sweet Citrus Bundle. Aren't they fun? And I have one more goodie to show you, and Andrea hasn't seen this one either, all right? So that's what we're making. I'm so glad y'all like them. This is so easy, and I think we made these back in April during a Facebook Live, all right? Yes, they had lemon Oreo cookies in them. Leslie Claire is correct. Originally, the first time I made them for open house, they had Oreo lemon cookies. And by the way, those are super delicious. But I'm doing the lemon drops this time. And I picked up the lemon candy from Home Goods, all right? Now, the next thing I am making, I'm proud of myself, Gail, that it's not the night before and I'm doing all of this. All right, so this is a little gift tag, and I love the words on this. This is a retired stamp set. I know y'all are gonna ask me where it's from, and I'm not even gonna be able to remember the name of the stamp set. You probably have it. It's called May You Grow a Wonderful Life Together. And so I made these, and they have limes, lemons, and this color on them. Now inside the jar, I am going to be putting, it's called a charcuterie. So inside there'll be a flatbread stick, there'll be grapes, fruit on skewers, cheese, crackers. I'm trying to think what else. I'll take pictures of the food once I fill them on Saturday. So it's called a charcuterie, and you put all the little goodies. So it's meats, grains, which are crackers, and fruits and vegetables inside the jar. And then a garnish, I'll probably put rosemary in it or parsley. All right, and this is the extent of my cooking, believe me. I'm not this fancy gourmet cook by any means. But I thought this would be fun. This is the hors d'oeuvre, it's the appetizer. They'll come in and get settled, and then they can have something to eat while we chat before lunch. So, yeah, I wanted to share that with you. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that the longest amount of time was getting the twine tied around the jars, but the tags came together perfectly. Yes, olives are also in it, Leslie Claire. They're olives, pickles, it's all kinds of good stuff. So I know, Jean, if you live closer, Jean, you could come. So anyway, I'll have to share that charcuterie recipe with you. I meant to bring the book up here to my stamp room tonight, and I forgot. So, but anyway, yeah. So that's what I made for the shower. Everything else, mostly everything is homemade, but these are the only stamped items that I'm doing. So just wanted to share those with you, and I'm going to move them out of the way so we can get started. We can get down to business, right? All right. Okay. All right, Stacy, we are happy to have you. Carol, I will look for you, Carol, to see the size of the jar. You know what, Carol? It's an 8-ounce jar. All right, but if anyone is interested in the jar, I can put a link, or I can send you the link if you want. All right, but they're super fun and super cute. They're easy to make. And it's different, right? So it's more interesting than a fruit tray and then a vegetable tray, and we're just trying to jazz it up a little bit and make it different, right? That's what it's all about. So okay, I have talked your ear off, and we haven't even gotten started on our projects tonight. So a little bit of a review. All right, I will do that. You know what I'm going to do, ladies? After the broadcast tonight, I will give you the name of the book and the page number of the recipe that I am using. And then I'll give you the link to the jars. How about that? I can do all of that for you, okay? And if I think about it, I'll even list the stamps that I use. You might even have it. We had it a couple of years ago. So, anyway, all right, so last week, and here we are, we made a pretty peacock card using the Crafting With You bundle. All right, hello, Aunt Ethel. We'll see you Saturday. I cannot wait. We were just talking about the shower. So last week, we made the pretty peacock card, but I wanted everybody to see these colors. This is from the Glorious Gingham Designer Series paper. This is Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, Lemon Lime Twist, and Pecan Pie. All right, so there's the pecan pie right there. I'll zoom in a little. These were last week's projects. By the way, it's over on my blog, and it does include a supply list with measurements, okay? Here's the lemon lime. Here is Blueberry Bushel. Here's Pretty Peacock and Berry Burst. All right, so Barb just said her stamp set is on its way. I love hearing that, Barb. Love it. All right, so I just want to share the paper one more time. We are going to use it again this evening. I absolutely love this. It comes 6 by 6. Hello, Diana. And these are the colors that it comes in. So I've used all the colors in those 5 cards. All right. So with this paper, Ruth is correct. Possibilities are absolutely endless with this paper. Absolutely love this. Now, the other great thing about this designer paper, flip it over and you've got a small gingham check. All right. So it's 6 by 6, it's in the annual book, and so put it on your list if you don't have it, all right? Okay, and for those of you who are joining us this evening and you missed last week, we're using the Crafting With You bundle. You'll find it on page 91 in your annual catalog. So Rhonda said she's not liking the lemon lime twist as much. You know, I thought pecan pie would be my least favorite color in this, but it's really growing on me. And maybe it's because I miss soft suede because we don't have that anymore. But here is page 91. It is a distinctive stamp set, so you're gonna have that variation. They aren't solid images. All right, so be aware of that when you're stamping. Here are 3 awesome cards that are pictured in the book. So these would be really fun to make. All right. I'm sorry, I've been talking so much. I am parched. Okay. So that's what we're working on tonight. I'm going to show you our first card. And we're using that Glorious Gingham. And ladies, this is a super simple card with lots of fun die cuts on it. So I'm just going to zoom in. Here it is in Berry Burst. And tonight I am going to make it in Blueberry Bushel. Okay? So we will make it in Blueberry Bushel. And then our second card this evening, I am going to go back to pecan pie again, and we're going to make this card with the easel. All right. I'm so glad y'all like the cards. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get started. And oh, by the way, remember last week when I couldn't find these tinsel gems? I found them. They were under a pile of paper. So we'll use these this evening, okay? All right, so let's see what we need to cut out. I've already done a little bit of cutting for us this evening, but we're gonna also do some cutting as well with the machine. All right, aren't the buttons adorable? Are these not the cutest buttons you've ever seen? Did you notice the ruler is part of the border? And then I just have a long ruler here and then a pair of scissors. And of course, I've got the embellishments as well. So yeah, fun cards. These are simple cards, okay? So when you get your set, this is a great one to start with because it's very easy, okay? All right, so to get started, we're actually, let me see. We actually are only gonna cut one item, and that is going to be the scissors. And we didn't cut the scissors out together last week, and I wanted to show you how they cut out and how to assemble. Of course, I showed you last week how to assemble the scissors, but they're gonna come out in two pieces, all right? So I thought this would be good to show you that, okay? And we're gonna want black handles, and that's why I'm using the black cardstock. And then I have already taken the time to cut the silver foil scissors, okay? So they're already cut and they're ready to go for us, okay? So let's get our cutting done and then we're gonna assemble. And I'm gonna zoom out so that you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm sorry, the camera's gonna be shaking. Okay. So if you're new to stamping, you're gonna wanna start with your platform 1 and you need platform 2. You're gonna find the numbers right there, okay? Then we have platform 3. And now we're going to actually add the cardstock and the scissors. And we're using another platform 3 or cutting plate. And then we're just gonna roll this through. Just remember that that is your sandwich when you're cutting with the dies, okay? And we're gonna use the machine again later, so I'm not going to close it up. All right, and now I'm gonna zoom in and we're actually gonna do the scissors first because they need time to dry, okay? I'm gonna show you how to get the scissors out of this die. First of all, I'm just popping those little pieces out. And then if you see these little holes right here, I'm just gonna kind of poke them. And this actually releases the paper from the die. So there's one. And here is the other part of the scissors. All right. Now I'm just gonna put my scissor die away because I don't wanna lose it. And let's see. I am going to bring in my chrome. I call this chrome. I need to call this silver foil because that's what it is. And by the way, silver foil is in the annual catalog, okay? Last week, I thought it had retired, but someone had pointed it out to me. And so yeah, it's not retired. Okay, so you're going to notice right here, actually, we're going to keep those just like they are. Now, this is going to be a little difficult for you to see, all right? You're probably not going to be able to see it at all. do you see that little score line right there? My camera wants to focus on everything but that little score line. That is where you're going to cut the blade off, okay? So we don't need the black blade. We're cutting it off. There is also a line right, well, this one you really can't see. There is another score line right there, and I'm going to cut across that score line as well, okay? I can't believe you can see it, but that's good. I'm glad. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer, and we're going to glue the handles on. Now, we did this last week as well, and this is something that when you're using the scissors die, you're going to want to do this first if you're changing the color of the scissors. And that goes right there. And it goes right there. So you want to do this fairly soon because it takes time for this to dry. All right. So here we are again. And I'm using just minimal glue. All right. Hi, Cindy. Welcome from North Dakota. Good to have you. And then we're just going to lay this one on top as well. All right. And we're going to set these aside. And instead of me picking them up, which will move the handles, I'm just kind of pushing them away, okay? All right. So now let's get back to the card that we're creating this evening. Tonight it's going to be in Blueberry Bushel. And I've already taken time to cut the ruler out and the buttons, okay? All right, hi Corinne. Now, this is our basic white card base right here, all right? I always have a bunch of these cut and scored, so when I'm ready to make a card, I just have to pull the card base out. So Rhonda's asking, can you use a rivet and have the scissor? Oh my gosh, why not, Rhonda? Yes, why not? That hole is big enough, you could use a rivet. Now, the only thing is the prongs from the rivet, the prongs from the brad may end up showing. You might have to cut those a little bit. But I would definitely try it. I think it's worth it. And we do sell brads in our annual catalog. All right, I gotta make a little more room on this screen here. There we go. All right, so let's do some measurements here. Again, this is Blueberry Bushel in the Glorious Gingham. Opposite side is a gingham check, all right? And so this actually measures 5.5 inches, which is going to cover the bottom of the card. And then it's going to be 2.5 inches wide, all right? So that's the first thing we're going to do. So let's get... We're going to use the larger gingham pattern. And then for the outside, we're going to have the larger gingham pattern on the outside. And I think that will take care of it. I love Blueberry Bushel too. Isn't it awesome? Now, I do have a Blueberry Bushel strip for you tonight. It is 5.5 inches long, and it's probably a 1/2 inch wide. It is a 1/2 inch wide, okay? And yes, we're gonna also put some seal on this as well. And because this is pretty high, I'm actually just going to put the cardstock, the trim, right across the top of that designer paper, just like that, okay? All right. Now, the next thing is I have already cut out a ruler for us. Look how long that ruler is. Isn't that awesome? So I've already cut this out in silver foil. I am actually going to cut this in half. All right, so this ruler gets cut in half. And a couple of ways you can do this. I'm gonna try this with the liquid glue and see how I like it. Earlier today, I put the ruler on with a glue dot. So let's try this method and see if we like this one. All right, so that's the little ruler that we're adding to the border. You don't need it all the way across. And do the same there. I need to clean that dried up glue on the tip. There we go. Okay. And we're gonna add this half of the ruler right here. All right, and that glue will dry clear. And also, you can use a glue dot if you want. So now let me give you a closer look. I got kind of messy over here with my glue, but that should dry clear. I should be okay. And what I've done is I've added that to each end. Now I have taken the smaller gingham check and I have used the nested essentials. And I think I have that. I'm gonna grab it, it's on the counter. Okay, so these are my nested essentials, and I'm pretty sure I used this one. Sure did. So it's going to be the second one from the largest, and that's what I used to cut out that piece of gingham. By the way, one sheet of this glorious gingham paper, you'll be able to cut both of these things out of it. And yes, it looks just like a coffin. I can't wait to see what everyone comes up with for Halloween. So anyway, should be fun. Oh gosh. Okay, so we're going to add this, and I'm just going to be using my seal to do that. There we go. And then this is going to get centered about right here. Okay, and it just goes right over it. Hi Liz, how are you this evening? Hi Kathleen, welcome. All right, so that's our card so far. And now we're gonna do a bit of stamping. I've already taken the time to cut out this nested shape. So let's look to see which one this is. It will be the third one from the largest. This is your basic white, okay? And then this one, second from the largest, was used on the glorious gingham. All right, so I just want you to see the difference. With these dies, you get that layered look, which is so nice. We're going to be using the words life is better when you're crafting, and we're going to be inking it up in Blueberry Bushel. All right. All right. And we're going to stamp it right here in the center. Of course, you can always stamp and then cut out. I just like to save us a little bit of time. Okay. I know everybody's having internet issues tonight. I really haven't had any. So I don't think it's on my end. Maybe there's a storm somewhere and it's causing this intermittent feed. I don't know. All right, but you will be able to catch the replay, okay? All right, so right over here, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to layer this. All right. So there it is, all layered. And let me find that other ruler. I love the ruler. It's an awesome length. It really is. And I love that it has those little detailed lines. So right along here, you could use your liquid glue again, or you could use a glue dot. And I'm going to pick this back up. I'm going to catty corner it like that. So I'm just going to make a line like that. And then this is where my ruler is going to go. So not exactly the same place. Yay, Annie! No internet problems in Northeast Indiana. That's awesome. Okay, so that is done. And now we're going to add our scissors. So let's get these put together. I think I might try a glue dot for this, and that way I don't have to wait for it to dry. If I use the liquid glue, I'm gonna have to wait, and I just want to get my scissors together. So Carolyn, are you referring to the nested essentials? That's something. If you're referring to those dies, you'll definitely want to get those. All right, I'm going to use another glue dot to add it to the ruler. All right, looks like everybody's back in business here. Yeah, the nested essentials is what they're called, and I believe they're between $30 and $35, but I think you'll use them an awful lot because I'm using them like crazy. All right, so I just attached that with a glue dot. All right, so there's my scissors. And now we're going to add buttons. And so let's see. These can be a little tricky. I'm going to start with the little square one. And I'm just going to add just the tiniest amount of glue. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it. See that little glue dot there? And let me find the Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just going to, how do I want to do this? I'll probably do it different than I did the original. There we go. The button is on. And then I'm going to put another piece here. By the way, I'm using Blueberry Bushel and Berry Burst this evening. Love these colors. I've been using them a lot. I need to branch out. All right, and so we'll add the circle there, which is another button. You could even add twine to the buttons. Wouldn't that be cute? And we're gonna add another button right there. And I'm just gonna let them kind of overlap each other like that. And then we'll get out our embellishments. We're going to use the Blueberry Bushel. We're going to put one of them right on the scissors. Hard for you to see, I guess because it's black handles. We're going to put a larger embellishment there and then a smaller one. And someone is going to be able to take this home tonight. All right. So that is our first card. And Carolyn, they're called Nested Essentials dies. I use them a lot. All right. All right, any questions with that first card? Aren't they the cutest, Jeanne? I mean, the ruler is precious. The scissors are adorable. By the way, there are 2 different baskets in this set. This is one of the baskets, which we're going to use in the next card. But there is another basket. There isn't a stamp for it. But this is the basket which you would put yarn in. All right, this would be your knitting basket, and look at the detail in the actual basket. Plus you get a sewing machine and brushes. And then you've got your little mini machine too. So just so cute. The heart, all of these can be cut out, and the words are great too. So yes, I think a silver embellishment, Louise, would probably look a lot better. It would show up on my card. Because with the black handles, it's really hard to see that blueberry bushel. So yeah, if I were to redo it, I'd probably look through my embellishments and choose something a little bit differently. All right, so there's blueberry bushel, and this is berry burst. All right. All right, I'm gonna set this one aside, and I'm gonna pull the next one out, which is in pecan pie. All right. Yeah, try and get it in August, Carol. Now, I checked the inventory this morning, and maybe some of you can help me with this. I think it's in low inventory, I think. So maybe not wait too long. Check the inventory status report to be sure. All right, so Rhonda's asking a great question. Can you use the nested essentials and make a basket by cutting it in half of the diamond shape? So, you know what? I actually have, hang on, Rhonda. So if I were to cut this one in half, let's say I'm cutting that in half, it would, you know what it would make is like a pot for a plant. If this is the die that you're referring to, could certainly do that. If you cut it smaller, it could kind of be a basket. All right, but aren't these fun? Love these. All right, so let me get my supplies set up here. We are going to do a bit of cutting out again, not too much. And the piece that we're going to cut out is going to be the easel. I've already taken the time to cut out the other pieces, but we're going to cut out the easel together, all right? Dying to use this piece. Wanted to show you how you could best use it. We've got a basket here with a flower, and we've got some brushes in the basket. And again, this is the Glorious Gingham designer paper, and this is the pecan pie. All right, does everybody like the pecan pie? All right, I'm gonna get out my stamping mat because we're gonna go ahead and stamp our easel first. Get that done. All right, I'm just moving around my trays, so hang tight while I find everything. Okay. All right, so we're actually gonna stamp the easel tonight in pecan pie. All right, hi Sharon. I'm glad everybody's liking the pecan pie. Good, good, good. That is good to hear because I'm liking it. All right, so pecan pie it is. We are going to ink the easel. Now remember, this is a distinctive stamp, all right? That means it's not a solid image. It has a variation in the image. I think it actually makes it look more realistic, so. All right, so that's the easel. I think that's the only piece that we have to cut out this evening. All right, the other little pieces I've taken care of. So I'm sorry, Kathleen. There's nothing more frustrating when you don't have internet. It drives me crazy, absolutely. So, all right. I'm just cleaning my stamp. And now we're gonna bring in my machine again so that we can get this cut out, all right? So we're gonna zoom all the way out. Again, it's the same sandwich that we had before. It's plates 1 and 2. It is cutting plate 3. And let me grab the die. All right, and let's see how good I can get this positioned. All right, so how is that looking? Do I need to use any tape or anything to hold it in place? My cutting plate is pretty flat, so I don't know that I'll actually need that. I think I'll be fine just going through like this. All right. The flatter your cutting plate, the easier it is for your die to stay in position. And I think it worked. Okay. And then we got these negative pieces that we're going to pop out here. Okay. We're going to do a little stamping, and then we're going to cut our materials for our card. Right, let's see. So in the original card, I had stamped this in Berry Burst, okay? Berry Burst can be kind of a dark color, and so I'm going to be stamping off, okay? So Berry Burst it is. We are going to stamp the flower, okay, right in the center. I'm just going to stamp off here. And then it really doesn't matter how you put your flower on there. All right. Hopefully that's not too dark for our words. It's so pretty. Then we're going to take the pecan pie ink and we're going to stamp over it. And we're going to stamp the words, "You inspire me." All right, and I'm going to stamp it right over this. There we go. All right, so let me bring it closer to you. If you wanted this to be lighter, because I did stamp off, but if you want it to be lighter, you could use Bubble Bath. All right, so Bubble Bath would be another ink color to go with. And maybe I should have done that. I don't know. Okay, so Carolyn, I want to answer your question about the magnet plate. Originally, we had a magnet plate when our machine came out, but the magnet plate began to warp and to separate. So we don't have that anymore, and we don't know when one will be available. All right, so just keep that in mind. All right, so let me set this aside and let's get our card out here. We're going to have a pecan pie card base. And then our next layer is going to be basic white. And where is my ruler? Here it is. All right, I'm gonna grab a sip of water real quick. Okay, so this first basic white measurement is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, okay? And we're gonna tape it and it's gonna go right there. All right, so let's do that. All right, we just want to get this centered here. Now, our next piece is the designer paper, all right? Now, if you notice in this sample, I have actually cut my paper and flipped to the other side. By the way, you're going to see this design again when I come back after vacation because we're going to be using this very layout with the Zany Zoo bundle, okay? So Zany Zoo will be coming up on Wednesday, August 9th at 7:30 p.m. So let's go over the measurements for this glorious gingham. First measurement is 3 5/8 of an inch by 4 7/8 of an inch. And we're going to take my trimmer. So I'm going to bring that in. And we're actually going to cut this. So let me just measure to see about where we want to cut. All right. So if you cut this at 1 3/4, it should work perfectly. All right, so 1 3/4 is where you're going to trim your paper. And then this piece is going to go right here. And the bottom piece is going to go right here, okay? So 1 3/4 for that. So let's go ahead and we'll get the top piece done. Just sticking to everything. And when you apply this, I mean, you are going to have just about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So you're not going to see too much of that white, all right? Just enough. And then, of course, we want this side, so we're going to put the adhesive on the small check. Whoops, not ready yet. Again, we want that eighth right there. There we go. Okay, and now we have a seam here. And I thought I cut out my, hang on, I'll get us another little strip of paper. Okay, and I thought I had a little strip already cut, but I guess I didn't. Okay, so I know I want it to be I know I want it to be a 1/2 inch. So I'm just gonna put it on my 1/2 inch, all right? And let's measure again to see how long we need this to be. We want it to be 3 5/8, okay? So 3 5/8 it is. And we'll trim that, okay? And this is gonna get some seal on it too. And you're basically just putting it over the seam. You can put it at any height you want, okay? Now, our next two pieces, I have actually die cut this using the Radiating Stitches dies. Oh, look at here. There's my little strip. I knew I had cut it. I knew it. So with the Radiating Stitches dies, these are online only. And if this piece right here is the piece that I used to cut out this basic white paper, all right? I know, Mary Kay, I do too. I love the small and the large gingham check together. So fun. All right, so we're gonna actually tape these two together. I love the combination of the two of them. And you could use the layout I'm using tonight. You could use with almost any stamp set. Just use the layout for, you know, a different stamp set, maybe different designer paper, and you'll have a whole different look. All right. Well, now we're going to pop this up. Is this the first time that I'm popping up something? I feel like it. No, I popped up the words on the last card, right? I don't want to lose my touch. All right. So we're going to pull this off. And we're going to put this about right here. Okay. And this is where we're ready to add our easel. All right, now I set my easel aside. What did I do with it? Let's see. Oh, here it is. It's amazing the things that you can lose while you're making a card. All right, we're gonna pop up the easel. I just think it looks better popped up. It just needs some dimension on this white piece here, okay? Now, I haven't used these dimensional strips in ages, all right? But I did pull them out tonight for this project. And I think we're gonna need maybe two and maybe another one. I haven't decided. Let's put one here, all right? These are, to me, they seem a little bit higher than our standard. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the paper off of that. Hang on. I know, right? Should I put a dimensional in the center? I probably should. Don't you think? I know, not enough dimensionals. All right, hang on. I can't get the paper off. Okay, so that's done. And I think I will put a little bit on these two legs here. So we'll put one there. I haven't used these dimensional strips in ages, Margaret. I don't know why not. I knew exactly where they were, but I just haven't used them. But they're perfect for something like this. We're almost there. I'm just having difficulty here getting the paper off. Comes off not as easily as with the other dimensionals. All right. And now we're ready to add this. I'll add this more towards the top. All right, so we've got our easel there. And the next thing we're going to add are some brushes. Now, with the brushes, I actually stamped them in pecan pie. And I am going to color them in Bubble Bath and the Lemon Lime Twist. All right, let's see how they turn out. Okay. And I'll probably end up just, coloring like every other one. This is the light, but you could certainly try the dark if you want. And let's see. With the Bubble Bath, I'm going to try the dark. How about that? Let's see how that does. Okay. So Bubble Bath and Lemon Lime Twist. Oh, I'm glad you like the easel popped. Thank you. I felt like it really needed it. All right. As far as our basket tonight, I'm going to change it up a bit, ladies, because I wanted to see how this looks. It might make the card pop more, but here is the basket in Lemon Lime Twist. Here it is in Berry Burst, okay? Now, I am going to add the brushes to the basket, and I think I'll just use a glue dot. I'll use two. Let's see here. I'm going to put it on the front of the markers. All right, there on the front, the glue dots. And I'm going to just kind of catty corner it like that. Okay, so the brushes are in there. And then I'm going to put it about here. So I am going to have to pop this up a bit. Let's see here. All right, I know I'm going to need a dimensional right here in this corner. And I'll show you in just a second what I'm doing. I'm actually putting a second one on top. All right, so I've got two dimensionals there on this corner. And then if I put it over here, then it will lay straight. It won't be lopsided, okay? So y'all have to let me know what you like better. Or do you like the lemon lime twist? Or are you liking the berry burst? All right, we are going to add a flower. And I'm gonna just put a little piece of glue right there, just a little dab. And this is their little flower. Yes, there is a little flower in this stamp set. And it is right here, okay? So these are the pieces that we've been using this evening, all right? Oh, Cindy, thank you. I'm so happy you like the cards. Thank you so much. All right, now let's get some embellishments out. We're gonna use those same ones. I love the tinsel gems. All right, oh, I can't wait. All right, so what do y'all like? Tell me, berry burst or lemon lime? I know it's really hard, isn't it? This just adds another color to the card. So, but I love your thoughts on it. It's pretty fun. All right, this just kind of rubbed right off the package, and so I'm gonna put a little lemon lime twist dot right there. And it's just popping off on me here. Hang on. Two popped right off the sheet when I opened up the pack, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now. All right. The flower is like precious, isn't it? Totally precious. All right, put a big one there. And we'll put one there. All right, and we will be giving, you know what, tonight